Welcome to another episode of Meer Speaks. I'm your host, Shameer Lord. Welcome to Meer Speaks, your weekly dose of power, purpose, and personal evolution. Today's episode is a reminder that your next level isn't waiting on luck, it's waiting on a decision. So, this episode is called The Power of One Decision. All right, so we're diving into the truth about how one decision, one shift can unlock an entirely different version of your life, right? Right? One decision can change everything, not 100, not a whole plan, just one. So, I think that's been like the overall theme in like all of my videos. You could even see I hint to it all the time is just make a decision, make a decision. Um, and I think maybe that comes from reading a lot of books too, where they tell you that, all you need to do is just make a decision. And I also heard somewhere like once you make a decision, the universe conspires on your behalf to make everything that you want happen, right? So we gotta start making these decisions. I should have brought my mouse. We gotta make these decisions, right? So one shift can unlock an entirely version of your life. So the myth of massive change, right? So people think that to do a massive change or to do a change that you need a massive overhaul in your life. You don't. You just need one committed decision, right? You need one decision to say, okay, I'm going to commit to this. If I'm going to commit to reading every day, okay, I'm going to commit to reading 10 pages. Um, Talking about that, I love reading books. I'm on my second or third book for my reading challenge, 50 books in a year. Well, for the rest of the year, I wanted to do 100, but we're already halfway through the year, so I said 50. So you just need to make that one decision, right? So most breakthroughs come from small but bold pivots, right? So when you know you need to shift your life or you need to change that direction, you need to just make that choice, right? Stop waiting, right? So waiting for the perfect trap, well, waiting for the perfect time is a trap, right? You can't keep waiting for things to be perfect because let's be honest, things will never be perfect. And even when you think they're perfect, they're not perfect, right? So every wave starts with one move, right? It doesn't take a year, it takes a moment. It just takes that one split decision to say, okay, you know what? I'm going to choose to be this today. I'm going to choose to do this today. I'm going to choose to go for this today, right? Or for the rest of my life. I'm going to choose to make these choices, right? So it doesn't take a year. I'm telling you people, it takes a moment, right? So examples of one decision. So it could be drinking more water. It could be going for a walk more of 30 minutes. It could be reading, like I said earlier. Or it could be deciding to wake up early, quitting something toxic, committing to one new habit, right? Once you start building habits, what's that book? I think about Stephen Covey, the seven habits, seven. You go look it up. Seven effective habits of successful people or something like that. Just go look it up. Stephen Kofi, however, Stephen. I don't know how to say the man's name, but I know that's a life changing book for me as well. So every major thing I built started with a decision to stop waiting. When I decided I'm gonna get back into music, I just started back writing. I started back freestyling. I just started posting shit. I was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna just post it. If it ain't good, it ain't good. But I'm gonna just get better. I'm gonna get better in the process. I don't like to just put trash out there, but I also that sitting on your hands is not going to get you to the place that you want to be. Waiting around is not going to get you to that goal that you want. It's not going to get you to travel more. It's not going to get you on that island. It's not going to get you to retire your mom. It's not going to get you to retire yourself. If you keep waiting around, you're gonna be waiting around talking about woulda, shoulda, coulda, and then those dreams are gonna pass you by, and then you're gonna be on that bed of regret, and then you're just gonna talk about, man, I really should have made better decisions. And look at that, one decision change your life, right? So, what stops people from making that one decision, right? Is usually overthinking. Overthinking kills execution, and overthinking also leads to procrastination, which ends up to nobody making the decision. Waiting for a sign or a consensus, waiting for people to buy in, or waiting for, I don't know, a universal sign that says, you should do this. you should go for this dream. If this dream was placed in your heart, you need to go for it. That's all the confirmation that you need to go for something, right? The fear of failure. So many people are afraid to fail. I read this book by John Maxwell, Failing Forward, and it basically talks about how to use failure as a momentum pusher. Failure is not the end all be all. Just because you failed, that does not mean things are over. And honestly, I think that just means that where things are beginning, because then you know where to adjust and how to adjust when you reach failure. And failure is part of the game. You have to start embracing failure, as the more you fail, the quicker you're going to get to success. You're actually taking action. That's why you're failing. Most people aren't failing because they aren't taking any action. Think about that. I really want you to think about that for real. Because people are out here failing, but it's not because of the decisions that they're making, it's because of the decisions they're not making. Just because you make a mistake doesn't mean you have failed. You just made a mistake. And what was it? I think it was Thomas Edison. He said, I just found 1,000 ways that did not work. Sometimes you have to go through it. Like I told you, Tyler Perry said, going through your dreams is the hardest thing you're going to do. So how do you choose to make that one decision powerfully, right? Because most people don't fail because they can't. They fail because they never start. And if you never start, how can you succeed, right? So we're going to talk about how you can choose and get that one decision and, fill in that gap, right? So one, get clear on your pain point or gap, right? Get clear on what is causing you to not make a decision, right? Get clear on that, right? Two, visualize what you actually want. Visualize the life you see for yourself. I know for me personally, I see myself in a home that I built from the ground up. And there's more things in there, but I'm not gonna tell you what's gonna be in my future home because I don't want y'all trying to come over. But you know, visualize what you actually want. When you can actually visualize and actually feel yourself and feel how it would feel when you achieve that, I'm telling you, that changes everything. Three, make a non-negotiable decision. Right? Make a decision that you're not. It's not negotiable. This is one thing you're gonna do. So whether it is one day you're gonna record audio or one day you're gonna reach out to 10 people, make that commitment and do it, right? Four, take action within 24 hours. So let's repeat those steps. One, get clear about your pain point or gap, right? Two, visualize what you actually want. Three, make a non negotiable decision. Four, take actions within 24 hours. If you did this every day, I'm telling you, your life will change. Every day, consistency. Life changes, right? Clarity plus movement equals a breakthrough. When you're clear about what you want and your intentions, and then you move on that, every everything somehow opens up a way to make sure that you can achieve what it is that you want to achieve, right? So when you're going through this process, after you make that one decision, what is to be expected, because just because you make one decision doesn't mean everything in your life is just gonna breeze through after that moment. It's gonna get difficult at sometimes. You're gonna face resistance, right? You're gonna face, negative thoughts. You're gonna face, well, look at what so and so is doing over there. Why are they succeeding when I got better content? Why is this person getting money when they're an asshole? Stop. Stop. Don't worry about all that. Focus on you. So your old self will try and negotiate. The old you will say, well, we don't really need to do that today, do we? You know what I mean? We could do it tomorrow. Like, all right, we could push this off. We ain't really got to get to it right now. And that will cause you to go back. And then people may question you, that's the thing with people. People are so overly concerned with other people's opinions that they get stuck from even making a move at all, right? And it's not even like you don't want to make the move. You want to make the move, but you're so concerned about what other people think about the move that you're making that you don't make that move, right? So this is normal. Like, all these things are normal. But now you move with discipline and not doubt. So don't be discouraged when, you see, resistance showing up from whether people might not be as open to what you got to say, or your old negative thoughts come back creeping in, or people questioning you, don't get discouraged because that's normal. That's life. We living in a world, especially now, a technology era where everybody got opinions. Everybody got something they want to share. Everybody got something they want to say, and sometimes they ain't saying nothing at all. You feel me? Right? So, uh, damn, what was that one decision that changed my life? As I could think of current, the best decision I made in my life was quitting Encore. It was the best thing I did for myself. It's crazy because once I quit Encore, things started opening up for me. I got more opportunities and I was able to showcase my work ethic, and I was also able to get into audio more and do what I love to do because audio is what I love. I love, love, love audio. Whether it's recording, whether it's making music, whether it's creating podcast jingles, or I love, love, love creating audio. I also do sound design too, which I think I should work on some sound design later, but I will do that. And what made me do it was financially. I had got out here to Georgia, and you know, things were okay, but they weren't lining up how I thought they were gonna do. Because before I got to Georgia, I spoke to the I keep forgetting what you call them. We'll just say the boss manager, right? When I spoke to him, we had made certain agreements, and I was assured that I was going to be able to tech more, meaning be able to operate and do more audio, and that didn't happen. They ended up giving opportunities to other people out other than me, and that just made me like, all right, cool, bet I already see what we doing here, and I shouldn't even have to beg when I already got my fucking degree, and I already came from an encore where I was teching as a A1, which is a lead. I've teched as an A2. I've teched as a record op. So doing these things, they was just like, yo. So it's honestly it's nothing to prove because when I'm here, I set up, I do my job well above other people, and I'm not lazy. So I was like, fuck it. What made me actually quit was again, I hate working for other people. It's not in my DNA to work for other people. I don't mind working with people, but I don't want to work for anybody. I don't want to work for anybody ever in my life, which is probably why I think ain't nobody hiring me, even though I'm like overqualified for some of the jobs I apply to. I'll be like, I think it's the universe saying like, no, you made the right decision. Don't even bother. Because I'll tell you what, when I was working at Encore, they were paying me what, $19. When I work on a lot of gigs, I'll even break it down for y'all. I won't tell you what I make all the time, but it could be between $30 to more than $50 an hour. So when you even think of that comparison and it's stress free, it's less stressful than a job. Why the fuck would I be at a job? I think the only good thing about a job is benefits, but then the benefits ain't even that good because you still paying for them. You know what I mean? I got the military, so I just deal with that. But now who you see is a person who has nothing but time but to build, right? So all I'm doing is building and getting the fruits of what I built, and I'm excited to see what's next because I just want to help people. I just want to help people. I just want to help people be their best self and let them see that it is possible. If you make that one decision, anything is possible for you, right? So your next level is one decision away. You don't need more time. You need more courage. Right? You need more courage. You need the courage to make the decision that you know you need to make, that you've been wanting to make, and that you've been hesitant on making. Make that decision, right? So comment the one decision that you're committing to today, whether it be on here or if you want to hit me up on my DM on IG, shameerempowersyou. Hit me up. Let me know, what you're committing to do, and send this to someone that's at a crossroads, someone who's, you know, struggling right now to even make a decision with anything. And tell them hit me up. I'm always down to conversate. I'm always down to give advice. Listen, I love helping people. So subscribe for more gems weekly. I'm but a ripple in a pond. So are you. Go out there and touch somebody. What's that one decision that could unlock your momentum right now? Think about it. Do it. Peace.